There are a couple of housekeeping items we need to make sure you know. Number one, this is the last week for spending, so plan ahead for next week and try to make all your P card purchases by Friday, Saturday, so that those can get through the system. The university fiscal year is closing the end of June, so we need to give them a week or so to be able to get those all processed. And because of that, our fiscal year runs in October. The university year runs in July. So remember, we've got that little gap in between that we have to do a separate open TA for. So if you haven't done that, work on that this week. And as soon as you're done with your travel, get that in as soon as possible on the last open travel. And then you'll be ready for your July through September travel on your new TA that you are doing. On your TA, your current TA, as you are entering your last travel authorization, you can just go ahead and click that archive TA, and that'll clean it out of the system and make it a little easier so you don't have to go in there later and do that. Any questions about that for me while you've got me? All right, so today we're going to turn the time over to Brittany, and she's going to explain what this training is, and I'm super excited about it. So we'll just turn the time over to you, Brittany.
Thanks, Marcia. I'm super excited for the training today. This is something that I've had planned for a while now, and something I've definitely been looking into for even longer than that. A couple of months ago, I went to a training for Extension about how to create and post Reels to Instagram. And those of you that follow social media on a personal level know that social media is always evolving. It's always changing. So to stay with these trends, we're going to be doing Reels on our county pages. Now, this isn't a requirement by any means, but it's something that's strongly encouraged because it will increase views and it will increase interest on your county pages. So I have asked Alicia Wilkin today to come and do a training for all of you. And it's my privilege to introduce her to you today. So Alicia Wilkins is a lover of all things social media, content creation, strategy, funny videos, and memes. She enjoys it all. Alicia received 2 bachelor's degrees from USU, one in English creative writing and one in communication studies with an emphasis in family and health. 5th generation Aggie here. She started her career in social media marketing over 7 years ago. From small town gardens, stores to large hospitals, she loves helping market brands of all kinds. When she isn't working, she enjoys binging true crime podcasts and shows, doing photography, being in musical productions, reading, and being outside. Her and her husband are expecting their first baby in the end of September. All right, and Alicia, the floor is yours.
Okay, awesome. Well, that makes me sound so sophisticated, my little intro, but I'm super excited. For those who don't know who I am the social media manager for Extension as a whole. I started as a staff assistant in Cache County and then was a 4-H coordinator. And now I'm in this current position and I love it. Like Brittany said, I just love anything social media, which is ironic because I was that kid that got in trouble for always being on Facebook when I was in high school and making all the things. And my parents got so mad at me, but now I do it for a living. So it's awesome. So today, what I'm training on is Reels on Instagram. And Brittany kind of mentioned this already, but Reels get tons of views and engagement, and they are part of what's shifting in social media is short form video and what I like to call kind of amateur video. You don't have to be good at video. You don't have to have fancy equipment to do Reels. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen so we can just go through this lovely Canva. So you guys are Create Better Health, and I called this Create Better Reels. It's my little nod to you guys because I think what your programs are doing are awesome, and I just want to help you get information out there more. So this is me again, just a little intro again, but I am a caffeine addict. That's safe for baby, obviously. I love true crime. So if you ever want to talk podcasts, crime junkie, it's fine. I play Stardew Valley. It's the only video game I play. It's a farming simulator game. I love social media. And as you can see there, there's my cute husband. And then we are expecting our first baby in September. So a lot of stuff going on in my life, but I'm so happy to be where I am. All right, so let's evaluate for a second. I want you to put in the chat what number you feel like you are. So I have no idea what a reel is. 2, I watch them, but I don't make them. 3, I've made a few. And 4, I'm a pro and will be taking a nap. And I didn't finish my sentence, but if you're taking a nap, that's fine. I get it. I was up all night with baby stuff. So 3.5, I love it. So lots of 2s. You watch them, you don't make them. Okay, Brian, well, this is great for you then, because we're going to talk about what a reel is. This is awesome. Okay, so that just kind of helps me gauge where everybody's at. A 0. So that's fine too. I love it. Okay, great. So I just wanted to know kind of where everybody was at. Sounds like most people are familiar with what reels are. They kind of know, like, they're important, but they don't know how to make them. So I'm going to go through the difference between reels and TikToks real quick. Reels, or let's go back. So reels are an Instagram platform, and I'm not going to get into TikTok because it's its own platform, but just so you understand, TikTok was made in 2016. So it's a fairly young social media app. And it was launched by a company called ByteDance, and then or a Chinese startup company then ended up buying it, and they bought Musical.ly, and it combined into what we now know as TikTok. And it has just exploded. I think the pandemic had something to do with that. Everybody was at home. There was TikTok challenges. So you got all these little short videos of people doing weird things at home, and it was fun. So then in 2020, Instagram said, well, we got to get on this. This is obviously super popular. So they made their own version of TikTok, which is called Reels. And it's short videos. We're talking less than 90 seconds. It used to be only 60 seconds, but now they go up to 90. But like, we're super, super short. So these are examples of some of the reels that I've created for extension. They are bite-sized content pieces. They're not meant to be long. They're not meant to be, trying to think of the word, like overwhelming. They're meant to entertain and share snippets. Like, we're talking 30 seconds of information, which can be hard in extension because we have so much we want to share, but it's also about being humorous. It's about following trends. So reels are just tiny short videos that show things off. So why should you use reels? We'll get into that in a second, but I just liked this quote from Instagram that reels give new people new ways to express themselves and just more of what they do. So when I look at it at social media, what I love about it is the connection and authenticity that people search for. We went through a phase where people wanted the highly aesthetic feeds and they wanted the cutesy, influencer stuff, but we're seeing a shift in social media. People don't want a perfectly curated feed. They don't want a perfectly curated Instagram look. They want they want to see real. Like, reels are real. They want to see authenticity. So that's where it's beautiful that you don't have to be a professional. You don't have to have the perfect house. Like, you just get out there. I love Kate's comment about how much reach it had, because reels truly can reach way more people than I think we are taking advantage of in extension. So for instance, in the last few days, this was a couple months ago, this statistic, and I should have pulled some recent ones, but I reached 13,000 people with one of my reels, and 10,000 of the people didn't follow us. So 10,000 new people saw extensions content. So just imagine your reach and what you can do in this state if you use reels. So why should you be using reels? It's like I said, you reach new people. Your programs are all based on people. That's what extension wants. And oftentimes maybe your audience is not going where you want them to go. Like, they're not seeing the posters, they're not seeing maybe even the social media posts, but reels reach new people all the time. They also increase your engagement. So that's your likes, your comments, your shares, especially if they're humorous or very informational. People are more likely to share something or send it to a friend. And then it also shows your personality. You're ambassadors for a reason. You have personality. You're the people that are being out in the community. You're teaching these awesome things to people. And so people want to connect with you. They want to see your personality. Most of the reels that I make for extension, if they have either my face or a face of an agent or someone, they do a lot better because people want to see people. That's why they're on social media. If all you're posting is graphics, then you're going to lose an audience. So reels receive 22% more engagement than regular Instagram video posts. So people are sharing them, they're liking them. That's the number on your analytics that Facebook and Instagram, Meta, social media, whatever, they look at your engagement, because if you have 10,000 followers, but only 100 people are engaging with you, it doesn't matter. But if you have 1,000 followers and you get 600 to 800 people that are engaging with you, that's a really good rate. So reels are an awesome way to connect with people and to get more engagement. So what should you make a reel about? And I love this Grinch part. Like, what would I wear? That's what I feel like right now with my almost 7-month baby bump. But these are just like some of the ideas I came up with in a brainstorming session, is like favorite way to exercise. I mean, you can read the list. There are so many things that you could possibly make a reel about. On this trending sound one, we're going to go over what a trending sound is, but part of reels is understanding what's trending and fitting it to your niche and being creative enough to think outside the box and thinking like, okay, how do I apply this to what I'm doing? And not all trends work for every market. There are certain ones that I can do as a photographer. So I do family photography. And there's certain trends I can do as a photographer that I can't pull into extension necessarily. A listicle, that's like my top 3 favorite vegetables or my favorite hikes in Weber County, so things like that. They're kind of like little short articles. And then of course, recipes. You guys have so much as far as resources go for recipes, you can post them easily. So we're going to talk about how to make a reel, but first look for this little arrow. Like you can see there's a little pointy arrow, and that just means the sound is trending. It means it's gaining a lot of attention. Now you might click on a sound and see that arrow, but you go to the page and it has like 10,000 videos. Your video is going to get drowned out. You want to find trending sounds when they're between 1,000 and 3,000 uses. That's how I've found a sweet spot. Now you might go in and find that you need to have less than 1,000 or more, that's fine. But it's about learning what the sweet spot is. Whoops, I clicked over. So, look for that arrow. I like to make a reel with a sound that has 1,000 to 3,000 used. So we're going to try it. And I am hoping this works, this experiment. And if I get really loud, I'm really sorry, but I'm going to try to mirror my phone to my computer. And let's see if this works. So I'm going to share this. Hang on. Let's see if this will work. Haha. Can somebody verbally tell me that you can see my screen? Because I can't see you guys.
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. So this is our homepage for Instagram. This is our reels. Now reels typically have a cover photo. Like I edited this mental health farmer one. I made that in Canva, so it has kind of a nice look to it when it goes on my page. Some of my covers for some reason don't load when I'm viewing it from extension, but if I viewed it from my personal page, it does. Haven't figured out that glitch. But so this is a reel I made yesterday. I don't know if you can hear it.
Look back on life and say, I spent too much time with my chickens.
Can you guys hear that?
You will never look back on life and say.
Did that go through?
Yes.
Sweet. Okay. So the reason I use this one is because if you look down in the bottom, there is that arrow. And when I clicked on it, this has really low use right now, but I just thought it was funny because chickens and extension. So if I was scrolling through and I know I needed to use it, you can save the audio by just hitting that, or you can use the audio and make the reel. So I thought I would try to make a reel while you guys are watching to see kind of how I process what I do when I make a reel. So I'll typically start by just scrolling through and listening. I don't know, that's not really for us. This is a really popular one right now, but look at how many reels it's made, like 167,000 reels. You're gonna get lost if you use that sound. So we're gonna just keep going. Part of making reels too is spending time on social media and setting aside time to scroll with purpose, not just like to scroll, but like I have a reason I'm doing this. So this is nature is my happy place. I wonder, that one's too much too. This one I haven't heard a lot. So this would be a good one.
So can I interrupt? real
Yeah.
quick? Okay, so you're scrolling through the reels, but what are you clicking on to see the sound?
Oh, the little profile in the bottom right corner. See, there's that like black and white photo.
Okay.
Click that and it hits to use audio. So if I were to use this audio, I'm gonna, whoa, there's my chin. Nobody needs to see that. But that's how you would film it. So I don't like this sound because I really wanted to make one with you guys. So let me find a better sound. Nope. So 5 ways. Let's see what this one is. This is easy. You could do 5 things. Let's see. This one was popular a while ago. I won't do it.
Let me see if I can influence you to do so.
It's like start on your garden. I like that one. Okay. So
May I ask a question real quick?
yeah.
I don't know if I was just not paying attention. So what exactly is a sound? Because when I think of sound, I think of, like music or something.
Yeah.
Or are you thinking of more of like a theme?
So there's 2 kinds of sounds, right? I should look here. So there's your, there's like a trending sound, which is what I was finding. And then there's music. So trending sounds tend to be like something you lip sync to, or like that one cutesy music one. That's kind of just sounds. Now you don't have to use a trending sound. If you create an original video of like a recipe, you can, and I'll show you how to do that. You can add just music that's on Instagram already. So I'm going to do this one about budgeting. So if you look here on the left, there's a little timer. You can set how long. So if you wanted to do like short clips or something like that, I use the timer as a countdown. So that way I can get into position. Now I'm going to look like an absolute fool for you guys, but that's because I want you to see like how often it takes me to make a video. You can also change like a filter down here. I tend to use this one because it just softens things. Don't use anything super filtery though, because it just, yeah, we don't want that kind of stuff. But like this one's way too much. Another thing, sorry, I was going to show you this feature. This is a dual feature that'll show what is in front of you and your face. So if you're doing like a recipe or something and you wanted to talk while you're cooking, you can do that. You can do 2 videos at the same time. They don't use that one very much. And this is the speed, like how fast or slow it's going to record. So I'm going to make a reel, but I'm going to set my timer, and it's going to be about healthy or sticking to my budget. Okay. Yay. Yep, I will not be doing it again. All right. So then after you filmed your reel, up in the top right, there's place for text. So let's see. You and I stick to my monthly budget goal. Super easy. You can drag it around. You can make it smaller, bigger. Instagram does a really cool thing where they show your guides on the side. So if you're getting too close, it'll kind of do like a watermark. So you don't put your sticker behind the heart or behind your caption or anything. So I'll put it up here. You can change the color and the text just like you would on an Instagram story. You can change if you want it to animate. Then if you want it to only come in at certain times, you click down on, see there's like a little gray text that says "me when I stick" down at the bottom, and you slide it for when you want it to appear. So if I did that, it wouldn't appear, my text box wouldn't appear until that moment. You can also add polls. That's a new, I don't want that. Polls are a new thing, quizzes, caption, like you can do that. If you are doing a lot of like text and talking, always add captions. There's no captions found, but always add what you're saying so people can watch what you were gonna, or they can understand what you're saying, just in case they're watching on silent or something. You can download it from here, but it won't save the sound. So just keep that in mind. You can also draw. So everything, it's like a story. And a lot of making reels is just getting into the platform and making it. So if I were to make this post, like if I was going to post it, you can use something in the video as your cover photo. And over here, if you click cover, this is what it'll look like on your Instagram page, and profile grid. This is what it looks like in your actual grid. But I think that's really ugly. So we're just gonna pretend, I don't know. Here's a cute dog that I took a picture of. And then the dog appears as the cover of it. Something I found really effective is to use some sort of text in your cover. So let me see if I can find an example. I'm like really self-conscious of like what stuff I have on here, but it's fine. There's that relationship one. This one. So that way, if they're scrolling through your feed, they can instantly see like, oh, this reel will be about X, Y, and Z. So that's why I make them custom based on, I make them in Canva. That's what I do. So then you'll write your cute caption. Hello. You can tag people, you can add location. Tagging people, there's two ways. There's a tag and there's a collaborator. When you invite someone as a collaborator, that puts this Instagram or this reel on their page so their viewers can see it when they're on their profile. A tag is just like a normal tag. It's a little bit less effective. So if like two of you made a reel together, or if you made a reel in conjunction with your county, invite them as collaborators. Anyway, and then you just share, which I'm not going to do. So you can save as draft. All right, I'm going to stop that. And see, okay, I know I couldn't see questions, so we're going to go through this. So let's go show you. Yeah. I love the show yourself adding the salt and pepper. Recipes are really easy to do on reels. They're kind of low hanging fruit. If you go watch any cooking, Six Sisters, they do really good recipe reels. They're really easy. You can also film everything beforehand and upload it to reels. I guess I should show how to do that. So that's an option. Or you can do, I'm going to share my screen, or I'm going to mirror it one more time. Sorry. Oh, share screen. Let's try this again. Okay, so you can also, if I wanted to make a reel from scratch, you're on your home page, click up at the top like you're going to do a post, and then go reel. And then in your reels, you can choose audio here. So this is what I was talking about. Like if you made clips outside of Instagram, you can add some of these cute ones. So I'm going to make one with happiness. That sounds really cute. This is where you drag if you know you want a certain part of the song. Often Instagram is smart enough to just kind of add what you want. This is a really great angle for me. And then if I wanted to do video on iPhone, at least you can change where your content's coming from. So for instance, I was making a post for my anniversary. So I had like this album I made called Wedding, so I could easily find my posts. So you can make an album on your phones that's just Create Better Health. You don't have to sort through it. And so every time you make something for Create Better Health, it's just in the albums. But I'm going to go down to videos, and we're going to add this picture, this video. I was doing some formal sessions, right? Let's see. Do I have anything more extension? I don't think so. So if I just add this video of me doing these formal pictures, you can change how long your clips are. So if I wanted to add a couple, whoop, you click where it says green screen, you click the little like multiple boxes. So if I wanted to add all of these, it'll kind of make a guess with how much, and their syncing is pretty good most of the time. So then I'll just see what it looks like. That one's kind of long. So let's say that happens and you're like, oh, that one's, I don't need that much of that clip. Down at the bottom, it says edit clips. You can shorten it. So I only want 3 seconds of that clip. Same thing. Or if you change your mind, you're like, I don't like this one, I can delete it. So that's how you would do it if you filmed the stuff outside of Instagram. I'm gonna stop sharing again. I know that was kind of like word vomit there, but what questions do you guys have? I see Kathy had a question about hear my voice. So you're not supposed to hear my voice when you're doing like a lip sync trend. You hear the trend's voice if it's a lip syncing trend. If it's not and it's more like a narration, yeah, you'll hear my voice. But if it's like that one was Jack Sparrow, and so you were saying it over him. Yeah. Okay.
Oh, I have a question. Have you ever like when the last time I recorded a video, I just did it on my phone. I didn't open the app, and then I did like 2 or 3 different intros, and then just kind of kept right on going, and then went back and like watched it to see which one that like either I sounded better or like my face wasn't at a weird angle or like my shirt didn't have, so is that something that you would typically do, where you would film it outside of the app and then kind of edit it down so that you had like the nice pour or the better, like you walk into the frame instead of just like standing there? Or is that?
Yeah, no, you can do that.
So
So when people send me content, like when county people send me videos, I ask them to just send me like a raw video basically, and I will take and edit it or splice it or whatever. Yeah, so with like extension, if I were to do that, I definitely would film it outside of the app and then put it in. So I usually only film in the app if it's a trending sound that needs a lip sync. If it's something that I'm going to upload my content to, I don't film it in the app. I know that was a lot. What other questions do you have?
I have a question.
Okay.
I'm like super new to this, and I've been trying to make some reels, but every time I go back to do like all the editing thing that you were showing us, my app crashes. Is that normal?
I've seen that a lot, and it's so hard. So what I try to do is save to draft a lot. It's something with Instagram. I don't know why, but
Okay.
I've experienced it. So don't worry, you're not alone. And it's like the most frustrating thing. You have this perfect reel and you're ready to post, and all of a sudden the app decides it hates you and it kicks you out.
Okay. You said you saved the draft, so I thought I'd been saving the draft, but it still crashes on me.
I know. I know that's a glitch in Instagram that a lot of content creators are frustrated with. So I promise you're not alone. And I wish I had a better answer, but just know that you're not alone.
It's good to know. That makes me feel a lot better, actually.
Yeah, you're not doing anything wrong.
I am the breaker of technology. So.
Instagram's like, oh my gosh, it's Michelle again.
Yeah, really.
Okay, what else? I'll go through some of the questions that they asked at the social media training, and maybe that'll spark something. People asked what editing software I use. Usually just Instagram Reels. I have done a few on Canva. Canva has really good video editing if you just need like to throw up a text box or something. So Canva is really, really helpful with that. And Instagram Reels has come out with some sounds have a template. So you just, it like tells you how long each video needs to be. You plug your videos in and boom, it makes you the reel. I already kind of talked about topics you can make reels about, but really anything that you can fit back to your niche would be awesome. So that Jack Sparrow one, if it's like, did everybody see that? Because I will not be doing it again. Maybe it's like, I stuck to my meal plan for the week, or like I don't know, like talk about like something that is a huge accomplishment for your clients. Maybe it's like using fresh fruit and produce. Part of social media is just thinking like just getting out of like the trends you're seeing and just like thinking about how it can apply. And it does take time and it does take practice. So what I like to do, if I see a sound on, like I'm scrolling on my personal page or something, and I'm like, oh, this would be really good for extension if I posted about tomatoes, I will send the sound to extension with a caption of like how to prune tomatoes. And I'll do that with all of the accounts that I manage and just send the sounds. Well, because usually you'll see it and have the idea when you're not actually working. And that doesn't take that much time to just hurry and send it over. So timing when to post. I have been experimenting with extension, and I found that late afternoon to evenings seem to be the best times to post to get views. Now, that's not to say that that could be the same for your counties. You kind of need to judge that for yourself. As an example, yesterday on my photography page, Instagram said, hey, most of your people are on at noon, so post at noon. So I scheduled my post to go out at noon, but it was one of the lowest performing posts. And so find what works the best for your content. And for the most part, I'm seeing like 2 to 6 p.m. is that sweet spot for posting. But I mean, it could change. What makes a successful reel? That depends on what you want to get out of it. Sometimes I make a reel for extension and all I want is views. I just want to reach as many people as I can. I'm not necessarily tracking comments or likes. I just want to get this information out there. And sometimes I want engagement. I want them to like, share it. I want them to engage with the post. So just setting your expectation up front with what you want to have what you want to have happen with it will help a lot. Usually I aim for higher engagement, but let me see if I can find an example of a post. Oh boy. Like I did a reel about Utah drought update where it was like, who's still saying that? So it like people were saying, oh, we've had plenty of water. Utah must be out of a drought now. And then it was me saying, who's still saying that? That I wanted to get shared. I wanted it to get out there. I just needed the news. But for something more like, how can I improve my mental health as a farmer? I wanted engagement. I wanted people sharing it. I wanted people liking it, that kind of thing. A question somebody asked once was saving music that isn't royalty free. It gets kind of complicated if like a sound isn't available. That's why I use the sound from the Discover page. Like as I was scrolling, I've never had an issue with Instagram saying I can't use a sound if I start from my Discover feed. I don't know what that entails, but basically it means that we're not going to make money off the sound. And we're lucky in our line of business that we are just here to help. We're not selling like major products. I know some of this stuff is out there to be sold, but most of it is just informational. It's just to get people talking. Canva has some stock videos, sounds, or some like audio music if you need something as well. So theirs is a really good resource to use. A lot of people wanted to know, how do you balance between being fun, engaging, and professional? And I think it's more so about what are you wearing and what kind of lighting you're in. So if I am filming reels for extension, I try to make sure that I look presentable for extension. I don't necessarily wear the logo all the time, but I make sure that I like, I'm not just in like a graphic t-shirt. I mean, I'm a crime junkie and literally all I wear is crime junkie t-shirts when I'm not at work, but I would never film a reel in wearing one of those. In fact, I've been known if I work from home and do content to change into a dress while I make content and then change out of it when I'm done because I just don't want to be in it. Okay, so iPads. As far as I know, the app on the iPad is the same. You can do everything the same on iPad that you can do on a phone. I don't have personal experience with that. So Kate sounds like she's got you covered, but it's just the same thing. And I recommend getting something to set your phones or your iPods up, not even just a tripod, or not, it doesn't have to be a tripod, but just something to keep it steady if you're filming. I used this. Oh, you can't even see it because it's green screen. It's like a plastic tote to film half my reels. Yesterday I made a reel and it was on top of my like swig mug. So just something to keep it stabilized. Try not to film down. Try to film either at eye level, or kind of out. Just the more reels you watch and make, the more you'll see what angles, what lighting. You don't need a ring light. I like my ring light, but that's just me. That's just preference. If you have a big open window and it's just kind of full of light, that's great. But even in a conference room like this, it'd be fine. A lot of people ask too, like, are there specific marketing guidelines for reels? It's just the same as all the other ones, like be smart, represent the university, and create better health wisely. Make sure that you aren't, just be smart. You guys are intelligent people. I don't feel like we need to have super, rules like that. So how often would you recommend posting to see growth? So I always just say consistency, because what consistent looks like for me might not be consistent for you. If it's doable to do once a day, like, good on you. I cannot do once a day for extension. So I do 2 to 3 reels a week, and I have, I've seen really good success. So just being consistent. Oh, Kayla does do a good job in her reels of teaching things. I've seen those. But if you're posting reels and then you drop off the face of the earth, suddenly Instagram's gonna be like, oh, they're not important. They're not going to show your stuff to your followers anymore. So just being consistent and being like setting a goal for yourself of like, I'm going to make 1 reel a week. Fine. That's all that's great. Instagram just likes to see consistency, not quantity, and making sure it's like quality content as well. I think the last few years we've fallen into a trap of posting just to post. It's not going to do it for us anymore. You've got to have good quality posts, even if it's 3 to 4 times a week instead of 7 days a week. That's just what we're seeing in social media. So, okay, I have talked a lot. Do you guys have any other questions for me?
Hey, I had a question. What about when you're sharing your post to Facebook? Are you getting the same kind of feedback or, views from the Facebook reels?
I haven't seen anything to speak to it, if that makes sense. Like, my analytics say that they're getting views, but I think most people still are watching reels on Instagram. Facebook Reels is still kind of figuring out its stuff. So I don't do it as much on there, but I'm going to show you, there's a really great website that if you wanted, like, let's say you made a really awesome reel, and you wanted to download it to your phone without having to get the watermark, there's this website. Yeah, I can go back. Snapinsta.app. And you can download your reel. You copy the link from Instagram, download the reel without the watermark, and upload it to to Facebook as a video, as a mobile video. I did that yesterday with the mental health for farmers one, and it did okay, but I haven't quite ruled out it being a success. Like, if it's successful or not, I still need to experiment. So I might not be a dairy researcher, but I'm a social media researcher. So I love figuring out what's working and what's not working. Let's go. I'm going to just put all of the slide information in the chat. Actually, yeah, I'll do that. Then you can kind of create some other ideas. So there is all of the ideas that I had on that slide. So it's super fun. And I recommend following similar accounts, or at least looking at them to get an idea. Like I said, I mentioned Six Sisters. If you're doing like recipes, they're a really good one. A lot of fitness influencers, just to get ideas. You don't have to do everything they're doing, but just to get an idea of like, okay, here's how I could post about this topic on my own page. Can you think of anything else? Christy said that we should brainstorm. So
I have one question,
Mhm.
and I'm Habiba. I am one of those never bother Facebook and Instagram, but it's time to jump and start. And I'm kind of dreaming that to do better job to start and get through. So my question first is, though Instagram is all for the public, as Create Better Health or the extension, do we have an account we all use, or like everybody, they have to use their own personal account to post it? I'm just asking that.
I can answer to that real quick.
Yes.
So we have our Create Better Health Facebook pages, and each county has one, and several counties have an Instagram page, and it's something that I create, and then I link the Instagram and the Facebook page together, so you can access them from the Meta platform, those of you that are familiar with that. So if you don't have an Instagram account, just send me an email and or put your county in the chat, and I can either get the login information to you or create that Instagram account.
Okay, because I was thinking I have one of old phones, so I'm trying to update everything. And I was thinking about like a place for all the refugee, all the things I'm doing it to put it there. So that's why. So, okay, I will contact you. Thanks.
I love that. I love the water and hydration. That's a really good one. I just was scrolling and I found this sound that I've used before, and it's at a really good place right now. If you can hear it.
You still saying this?
So that would be a really good one. That's easy to just bust a myth about hydration, nutrition, exercise. It's like, who's still saying this? If you need to find the sound quickly, it is on extension, the Utah water drought. My gosh, the Utah drought update reel that I shared last week uses that sound. And so that's a really good one. Easy right now. That just is like, who's still saying this? It's like, you should, I'm trying to think of like eggs are bad for you, period. Now we know that's kind of a up and down, but we've learned that not all the time, but exercise. Oh, that's a good one.
Alicia?
Yeah.
Do you have any recommendations for us who are new to all the social media aspects of courses or videos or something we can watch and kind of follow along with?
Yeah. So are you talking like what marketing trainings are out there, kind of?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Let me share this link. I do a training once a month for social media managers, and if you want to email me, I can put you on that list. It's usually half an hour because I get it. Sometimes these get anyway, but here is the training website that has all of the past trainings, not just I have done, but other people as well. And then if you want to email me, I can put you on the list to get on my monthly trainings. And my monthly trainings are typically just social media. But sometimes I'll pull in other people if I feel like it's prudent, or if somebody's like, I really need help. Anyway, so I also, if you're on that list, will send out occasional toolkits, or I'll send out like, here's national days you should be aware of. I don't know what Create Better Health, how flexible they can be in, but I'll also send out like, here's a trending sound that's so easy to use right now. Or last week I sent out a reminder to have 2-factor authentication turned on for your posts, because we've lost a few people have lost access to their accounts, and like big universities, and I don't want to see that happen here. So anyway, that's just a good list to get on that I send out about anything social media. So
can you add me that email? I will send it to
send
you.
me an email to the one I put in the chat, because I will forget. Listen, pregnancy brain's a thing.
Okay.
Anyway.
Thank you.
Yeah. Anything else? Brittany, do you have anything else that you want me to speak to?
Nothing specifically that's coming to mind. I've been jotting down notes and we'll kind of touch base on this again. And I know it's a lot of information right now, a little overwhelming, but we'll talk about this more at annual conference too. I have some fun ideas for practicing this and maybe even have a little competition type thing. So we'll have more training on this to come, but just like Alicia said, just start kind of playing around with it. Even if you're not going to post right away, just practice doing some of them, maybe show them to your friends and family, just kind of get some feedback, maybe practicing angle with the cameras or lighting for sure. Let me check with Heidi on attending these trainings that Alicia's doing, because right now I attend those and I usually bring back the information to you guys, but it might be good to have you guys on there too. So let me double check with Heidi before you guys join that training. Is that okay, Alicia?
Yeah, no, that's perfect.
Okay, perfect. And I have had a couple questions about doing TikTok accounts. And right now we're just going to stick with Facebook and Instagram. We actually just hired Amber Lee to be our influencer, which we'll talk more about that soon, but she has a TikTok account. And so you'll be able to, in the future, reference her videos and use those. But right now we're just going to have her manage our Create Better Health TikTok account and keep all of our county programming in Facebook and Instagram. So let's get a really good handle on Instagram, and maybe there's potential in the future, but right now we'll just keep this consistent, get a good feel, and make sure that we're representing the university well and being professional. So anything else you have to add, Alicia? That was fabulous. Exactly what I was hoping you would do.
No, you guys are great. And just realize that part of social media is failing, but that's okay because failure is an event, not a person. So it's going to be fun. You have to have such a good attitude when you do this kind of stuff, or it's easy to get frustrated. So just, you got to smile. It's going to be fun.
I love it, and kind of scary if you haven't done it before. I loved Habiba's enthusiasm. For those of you that aren't super familiar with social media, just giving it a try, and that's just where programming is going. So we're still obviously doing direct education, PSE, but social media is just where people are going for education. So let's just meet them there, give them those little snippets of information and increase interest in our program, and then maybe we'll increase our direct education classes as well. So remember, comprehensive programming, let's try to perfect each of these areas, and it will just help with our reach and increase our numbers on a county level, and then also on a state level as well. So that's all that I have. Marcia, did you want to close out the meeting?
No, that was great. Just a reminder, make sure you put in your chat that you were here so I can take roll. If you're watching the recording, email me afterwards so that I know you watched it and I can add you to the roll. And then just remember those things that I said at the beginning. Get your TA and TR done as soon as you can, and no spending next week, please. So that's all I have. Have an awesome day, everybody. Thank you.